Hello guys, in today's video I want to show you this 5-star installation. So this is a 5 kilowatts 24 volt lithium battery. This is 3.6 kilowatt hybrid 5-star inverter, so inbuilt with 120 amps MPPT. So now, as you can see, so the inverter is working perfectly, and this is the protection box. You have PV, so, and we have AC output. So this setup doesn't use grid at all, so it's powered by only solar, so without using grid. So now the inverter is working perfectly now. So I use the user device to set this this inverter to communicate with the battery. Initially I used communication cables from the battery to communicate with the inverter, so it doesn't work. I don't know why it doesn't work. It's the same company and the same brand for the battery and the inverters, but it isn't working. So I now do a manual setting. So how do you configure if your inverter and the battery is not communicating? So it won't charge perfectly. So before, so the inverter, the battery is under 10%, and the inverter shows 75%, so which is inaccurate. So in order to make to bypass this error, so I remove this communication cable. Let me attach the communication cable so that you can get what I'm saying, and you can see you're able to see what is bringing out after connecting the communication cable. So I've connected the communication cable now, so it will wait for some time. So now it doesn't show up because I've already used it as a user device. If I go to the settings now and I change it to lithium, so it won't work perfectly, but right now it's working perfectly. I don't need this communication cable again. That is the reason why I use user device. So, and I want to show you how you can set it to user device. Before you set any battery, there are things you need to understand about battery. So you need to know the bulk charging of the battery, and also the float charging of the battery, and the low percent cutoff of the battery. So after knowing these three, so that is what you need to do, what you need to know for the batteries. Now for this battery, the maximum voltage for charging, which is the bulk charging or absorbing charge, so is 29.2, while the floating charge is 28.8. So how do you configure this inverter to work with the battery? You press these enter buttons, you press and hold. So you see, so 0000, you go to down. So this is SBU, this is 2, this is for charging the MPPT charging current. The maximum is 60. So UPS, so this going to 5. So this is where I set the user menu. When you click like this, and you can select any battery of your choice. You see gel, lithium battery, so AGN. So now we are using user, so this is where I select user. So this is user, and now after setting that, you go to where it says the bulk charging. So you look for it. So that will be around, let's see, so this Okay, so this is it. C fee cost charging voltage is number 26. So the charging voltage, which is the bulk charging voltage or absorbing voltage, charging voltage is 29.2. I've set it. So if you want to set it, you press enter. After pressing enter, you adjust it. But this battery is 19.2. I set it to 19.2. After that, you click on enter again and you come down, you go to 27. This is float charging voltage, which is 28.8. You configure. I've set it to 28.8. I can see 28.8. To adjust it, you can go there, and this is 28.8, 28.9, and so many on, but the battery is 28.8, so that is why I set it as 28.8. Now after doing that, you press enter, you come down, you look for where it state CO, cutoff, that is cutoff charge. So the cutoff charge is number 29. So you check the battery. The cutoff charge of the battery is cut off for the load. So when you drain the battery to 23, so let me go back. We are going to number 29. So number 29, the cutoff voltage is 23.2. Immediately you drain the battery to 23.2. You can adjust it as well. Immediately you drain the battery to 23.2, it will shut the inverter, so the output will not, it won't bring any output again, to prevent the BMS of the battery and to protect the battery from totally draining. So now everything is set. Now you go back to, now the inverter is working. So this is PV sign. It shows that the inverter is using PV to charge, and this is charge controller, charging icon. This is charging icon. You can see this is, it shows charging the battery. So the battery is charging now. So you don't have any PV input. You can see clearly you don't have any PV input. You don't have any output. So this is date. So we don't have any load on this inverter right now. We are not draining the battery now. We are charging. The battery is charging for 14 amps right now. 13 amps for charging. So it's charging for 14 amps right now because it is early in the morning. So it's around 9 o'clock. The sun isn't rise at this moment. Now we have, so the voltage of the PV right now is 120 to 130 volts. So the output of the power PV right now is reading from 200 to 300 wattage. So that shows that the battery is charging. The battery is at 25.6 to 25.3 now. When it gets to 29.2, it stops charging. So you can see the battery is at 1% now. So it's coming to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to up to 6%. And the 6% will be totally full. Right now, we can't use the inverter right now because it's at the lowest voltage. So you can see 25.3, that is the battery percentage. So no load right now. So the inverter is working perfectly.